Hi everyone, it's Kara Wedby, your favorite Pescavini vegan, and today I am making a baked potato soup. Specifically, the recipe from All Recipes Dinner Spinner app is slow cooker easy baked potato soup. So I want this to be done when I get home from work, so we're putting this in here in the morning in my Pixar slow cooker. So far, and I'm doubling this recipe. So the recipe calls for 10 red potatoes cubed. You do not have to peel them. However, there are 20 in there because I'm doubling the recipe. Then it also calls for 3 tablespoons of flour, and I put 6 because, again, I'm doubling the recipe. So here's the flour I'm using. It's brown rice flour, gluten-free from Arrowhead Mills. So then it says to toss to coat. So I'm going to get my spoon out. So you want the flour to coat the potatoes, the red potatoes. And she said, the writer of the recipe and the reviews below, which you know I love on All Recipes Dinner Spinner app. So she said that these have to be small red potatoes. Otherwise, you'll have too many potatoes if you use a bigger one. So just know that you'll have to adjust it if you're not using small red potatoes. So I've tossed the potatoes with the flour to coat. And this is on low. If you need it to, it's supposed to be low for 6 to 7 hours. If you need it to be on high, you could do it in 4 to 5 hours probably. All right, next ingredient is 3/4 of a cup real bacon bits. I don't have real bacon because I'm vegan, so we've got the Daya cheesy bacon mac and cheese fake vegan bacon bits that we're gonna put in here. I've opened the package, but I don't know if that's gonna be enough since I'm doing this one-handed. We'll see. Here, hold on just one second. Open the package all the way next time, Kara. Open the package all the way next time. All right, so each of the macaroni and cheese, Daya, vegan, fake bacon packages, boxes, whatever you want to call it, they come with one of these fake bacon packets, vegan bacon. So it says 3/4 of a cup, so I'm thinking 2 of those equals 3/4 of a cup, so I'm going to do 4 of these in there. So I got about 4 different boxes of the Daya cheesy bacon fake vegan mac and cheese boxes. So this is not bacon, but it sure looks like it and smells like it. It is vegan. How cool is that? I told you I use those boxes for all kinds of recipes, and I'm using this bacon for this baked potato soup recipe. All right, next ingredient is 1 small red onion. I already have part of that in there. I'm using the frozen chopped onion. So I already had like half a cup in there, and this is a cup that I'm pouring in there now. So that's roughly 2, since we're doubling the recipe. Small red onions, I guess. It's a white onion, but whatever, it's close enough. All right, next is 1 clove of garlic. So I'm using my organic natural grocer garlic granules here. And remember, dried garlic, 1/8 of a teaspoon is 1 clove. So how much are we gonna need for 2? 1/4 of a teaspoon, math. All right, so I'm gonna get in here and get this out. You just stay focused on what I got in there. And I'm going to try not to spill this on the floor doing it one-handed. I may regret this kind of video. Okay, so there's my garlic. Then it calls for 2 tablespoons chicken bouillon granules, which I'm not going to use. I'm actually just going to use veggie broth, so we're going to skip that. 1 tablespoon ranch dressing mix. You can see on this little Old Spice container that I made some ranch dressing mix, and it's in here. So just gonna dump it in there. So it'd be 2 tablespoons if you're doubling the recipe. Also, the cool thing, and I'm going to link the recipe to this video. The cool thing about it is the lady that wrote it also gave you a ranch dressing mix, dry ranch dressing mix recipe in the review. So you can go down there and find that recipe if you need to make it yourself, if you don't have any. All right, so next is 2 teaspoons dried parsley. And I've got some Natural Grocers organic parsley leaf flakes. So I need it's 2 teaspoons dried parsley in the original recipe, but since I'm doubling it, it's going to be 4. Actually, let me think about that. Did it say 2 teaspoons or 1? And I wrote down 2. Yeah, no, I think it said 2. Okay, so we're going to do 4. That is an ingredient in ranch dressing mix, by the way, is dried parsley. So 2, 3. I will not show you the mess this is making over here because I'm doing it one-handed. You know I hate messes. Well, maybe I will. Look at that. Oh, that makes me mad. I'll have to clean that up. All right, and it's all over my recipe, so let's dump that in here. Okay. Now we got the dried parsley. Then we need 1 teaspoon seasoned salt for the original recipe. So 2 teaspoons seasoned salt for the doubling of the recipe. Seasoned salt, not regular salt. I read that wrong the first time and I got out regular salt and then I was like, oh no, it says seasoned salt. So 2 teaspoons seasoned salt. I'm going to do a little bit more because it's not filling it up quite a bit. Okay, 2 teaspoons seasoned salt, and then we're going to do half a teaspoon ground black pepper is in the original recipe, so that's 1 full teaspoon ground black pepper. Almost done. 1 full teaspoon ground black pepper. Oh no, I hope my teaspoon thing fits in this. Maybe I need to open the pour thing and just pour it in. You're seeing all my magnets on my fridge here from all the many places I have traveled. Isn't that lovely? Well, if I can get this other part open. There it is. All right. The things we do one-handed. Okay, I'm just going to put that in there, and then I'm just going to pour this. Yeah, I'd already put away my iPad because I have to use it for work today, so that's why I'm doing this on my phone. Okay. 1 full teaspoon ground black pepper. Now the liquid. Okay, so it says 3 cups water, so that's 6 cups since I'm doubling the recipe, but I'm not going to use water since I didn't put the bouillon granules in there. I'm going to actually use stock. So I'm using organic veggie broth, and we're going to use 6 cups instead of 3, again, because we're doubling the recipe. So I get my cup measure here. Hey, Mickey. Two. Splashing on my recipe. Bless its little heart. I don't need it after this though. It's online. It's on the app. 3. There's about 4 cups in the box, but maybe a little more. So this is 4. I've got a little bit left in that box. 4. Now it says in the recipe to scatter all this stuff in there. These remaining ingredients after you toss the flour with the potatoes. And then it says to... It doesn't say to stir it, but I'm gonna once I get this done. I feel weird just leaving it like that. 5. Isn't this fun to watch, you guys? And last one. 6. Okay, so now we have our 6 cups of water instead of 3 because we doubled the recipe. And let's get our spoon here, which is covered with parsley as well. Isn't that lovely? Come on, parsley, get off of there. All right, so we're going to stir this around a little bit. I just want to make sure all the flavors get mixed in together before I cover it and cook it for 6 to 7 hours. There's so many lovely spices and seasonings. We just want to make sure everybody gets mixed together. Everybody becomes friends in the pot. There we go. Okay, again, I've got this on low, so it's going to be on low for 6 to 7 hours. Then we'll come back and check what it looks like before we put in the half and half. Okay, everyone, welcome back to our slow cooker easy baked potato soup. This is how it looks after about 6.5 hours. I took a fork and stabbed the potato and it's good, they're cooked. So I'm gonna stir it up, and then the next step, remember, I still have it on low and I doubled the recipe. So the next step is the recipe calls for a cup of half and half. So we're going to use the Silk dairy-free oat milk, coconut milk, vegan half and half. So since it calls for 1 cup, we're going to need 2. So here's 1. Oh my goodness, I made it full. Don't spill it, don't spill it, don't spill it, don't. Oh, there we go. All right, 2 cups. Then it calls for cheese. Let me stir this. And actually, there's very little left in this, so I'm just gonna finish it off. Then it calls for cheese, which we're going to use vegan cheese, obviously. And it says to top each individual bowl, since it's like a baked potato soup, with cheese, but we're not going to do that. I want it to melt into the soup, so I'm actually just going to put it in there. So it calls for half a cup of cheddar. So we're going to use the vegan Daiya cheddar style shreds, but we're going to use a full cup because we're doubling the recipe. So math. Fractions, multiplying and dividing fractions. All right, cup of cheese. Well, non-dairy cheese. It was almost a cup. I need just a little bit more. It didn't quite pour out exactly, and I didn't want to dump it all over the place. So, all right, so there's our cheese, and there is our vegan cheese and our vegan half and half. So now this is supposed to cook in the slow cooker for another 15 minutes. So I'm going to stir it up together. And we're going to let that cook. Lid on for another 15 minutes, and then I'll show you the final step. All right, here's our finished product of slow cooker easy baked potato soup. The cheese is melted. The half and half's in there, and I just have one more thing. It calls for a 1/4 of a cup of green onion. Again, we doubled the recipe. I'm using dried chives. So 1/4 of a cup would be a 1/2 of a tablespoon of dried chives equivalent. However, since we're doubling it, it's 1 tablespoon equivalent of green onion. So what we're going to do is when it's dried, it's 1 teaspoon. That's the conversion rate. 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon. So we put 1 teaspoon in there. That looks marvelous. It's ready to go. And it tastes really good. I hope you try it.